I'm good. Let's go.
Just checking.
Rock and roll.
Black microphone out there, so it's like the speakers. We don't need that one.
No, we don't.
I don't know where that came from.
Testing.
Yeah.
I blame Ryan.
All right, Coach, do you want to talk a little about practice today?
Okay, we had another good physical practice. We're 5 practices down before the break. Like I said earlier, we're just trying to get our guys to learn to practice, to finish practice. I think that we've taken the steps in the right direction. I just got through telling our guys that I like where we're at this point as a unit. We have guys pushing themselves, trying to get better each day, trying to learn to practice, to hang in there mentally and physically. And so far, I think we're in a good position before the break.
What do you seen out of Sean White so far?
Sean White, he can really throw the football. He's very accurate. He's got a strong arm. He understands trajectory and just knows, where to put the ball in. He made some impressive throws, and I think for the most part, he's done a good job, executing the offense.
Was there anything specific you gave him kind of between for this offseason to improve?
Well, really just to get more comfortable with the base offense. I mean, he did get some reps in the fall, being the number 3 guy, so he has a good understanding of the base offense. It's just a matter of getting the quality reps. He didn't get the reps, that a number 2 guy would get. And so he's starting to learn, and we're rotating a lot of guys in our quarterback's defense. We're rotating a lot of guys up front, at the receiver position, the running back position, and it's a little bit of a challenge. First part of spring to make everything right around him. But he's in a good position. He's battling Jeremy Hard right now.
What, Jonathan Wallace, is he working exclusively with receiver?
He is. Yeah, Jonathan Wallace has made the transition to receiver. He is in a position to help us this coming year. He's a smart guy. He's showing some toughness. Really, it reminds me, he's got some similarities with Cody Burns, understanding the offense, understands defenses, and he's got a good head on his shoulders.
Because Kyle had gone for a similar change, guys, why is Jonathan able to do it maybe even better than what Kyle was able to do by making that change?
Than who?
Kyle Frazier.
Kyle Frazier was a good quarterback. I thought he was a solid athlete at whatever position that you put him. Jonathan's had a little bit more time, in the fall and getting prepared here in the spring.
How has Tyler Queen done so far?
He's really adjusting pretty well. I mean, we ask a lot of our quarterbacks, and you're talking about a guy that just got here, and we're putting in the installation, fairly quick. And so overall, I thought he's really handled it well.
Gus, on signing day, you said it'd be best case if Dean Shannon came in and won the starting job this fall. So this spring, is Daniel not doing any punting at all?
Yeah, he is doing some punting, and we got a couple walk-ons that are also competing right now. And we'll see what happens. I mean, the best guy's going to punt, and so we're going to let these guys compete, in the spring, and then Ian shows up, and we'll see who the best punter is.
What's the latest at H-back under Cam and Chris Lay? Are they kind of in the mix there? What was the?
Yeah. Cameron Petway, Chris Lay's doing a good job. We're trying to double train those guys, H-back and tight end. Chandler Cox is another guy that really has done well, picked up things well, and those 3 guys are primarily getting the reps.
Would Cam Petway replace?
Cam Petway, what?
Would he ever play some tight end, or is he just?
Yeah, we're double training. The H-back and tight end, even like we had Eric Smith before. He'd have his hand down some, so we try to double train as much as we can.
Do you think with having Carl back out there and more defensive line for that matter, we might see Montravius Adams take that next step where last year we saw him, he had that quick burst early in games and the team started doubling him and everything?
Yeah, and Montravius is a guy that's played for 2 years and has a lot of ability, and I know the coaches are pleased with where he's at. He's getting a lot of reps, and not just him, but our entire defense. They're learning to play extremely hard, and they're getting strained right now. And so I feel good overall about where we'll be at the end of spring.
You've spoken of leadership also stepping up, Gus. You're replacing 2 captains. Reese came back last year, obviously, but replacing Gabe. How important is it to see somebody on both sides rise up and turn into the captain-esque do you have a feeling as to who that's gonna be on each side of this?
You know, we're still working through that. We got some guys that want to be leaders, but right now, you know, they're trying to really earn the trust of their coaches, their teammates. You know, like I said last time, when you train guys, usually the leaders rise to the top, and that's one of our goals, to get done with spring ball and have some established leaders. But it's a process, and it's something that's got to be consistent. A leader has to do it every day. So, you know, we're in the process of you know, figuring all those things out.
How is Marcus Davis coming along, and what do you think his potential could be?
Yeah, Marcus Davis is one of the more reliable players that we have on offense. He just does a lot of things right. He's made some big plays for us, and I really believe this will be his year to take that next step. You know, just really is a very reliable player.
When you look at the offense and maybe doing more screens and bubbles and things of that sort, do you think that opens the door for guys like Marcus a little bit more?
Well, you know, I think overall, you know, we will have an emphasis on throwing the ball down the field, you know, vertically down the field, and doing some things on the perimeter, and so, you know, our receivers will get plenty of chances.
Is Chris Frost kind of a natural leader for you guys?
You know, Chris, you know, he brings great energy, you know, great effort. He is a guy that has played a lot of football, that you know, is in position to step up as a leader.
Can you talk about today's practice? How was it, and what was your focus today?
Yeah, it was you know, padded practice. You know, we're doing the half line, we're doing the inside, we're doing the team versus defense. I mean, we're getting after it. And you know, like I said earlier, we're going old school, trying to get our edge back, get our guys to bite. And you know, like I said, I think they've gotten better each practice. And overall, I feel good about where we're at. You know, after 5 practices, you know, regarding that, learn to fight through and finish practice.
Will you continue that kind of mindset next
Yes.
August?
Yes, no doubt.
How delicate is that balance? Is obviously you guys weren't as physical as you are right now in previous seasons with practice. How do you balance that?
Yeah, it's delicate, there's no doubt, but, you know, we got a new defense coordinator in, trying to establish his standards. We got a lot of new guys on offense, and so we're letting guys compete, and we're being very physical, and that's the way you can evaluate them, and bottom line is getting our edge back, and so that's the most important thing.
Yes. No, go on.
When we talked to Carl last week, he's got an ability to kind of recall specific plays and things he's seen from other guys. Is that kind of rare for a defensive end to be that cerebral about the game?
You know, he's got a football mind. Football's very important to him. He's got a football mind. He sees things, and you know, he's a special player.
I guess I was just going to ask, what was it been like having Travaris and Lance out there? You've had 5 practices with them, and kind of see how they work with the units hands-on.
And you know, with Will as the leader, I mean, they work extremely close together. They've got very good energy, and they're all on the same page. They're flat getting after it, and the standard's high over there.
You gonna get away from football for a while, spring break?
Yeah, I'm going to. A couple days.
You talked about, you made a speech today, right? Up in Birmingham?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was the Boy Scouts fundraiser. That's a great cause. There was a lot of people there, a lot of Auburn fans, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of that.
Get us to the end of stuff off the field, and when you to the end of the stuff off the field in spring break, I know it's a very big weekend for you and your family. Just
Yeah.
what is the feeling of going through this, and how much nerves or anything like that do you have?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm you know, very excited. Youngest daughter getting married. Now that this last practice is over, we'll grade her film and I'll kind of move on, you know, to that. But I'm excited, and it's a big weekend, and really looking forward to it.
Anything else?
Gus, you had a few players that left in the off season. The new NCAA guidelines concerning players leaving and then not being able to get an immediate waiver for eligibility. If a player, say, went to a school that came up and they thought that was not going to be an issue, would you be willing to bring them back?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to get into hypotheticals. I guess you're talking about Kahari Harding, and you know that you know, his dad's extremely sick, and I was wanting him to get closer back, you know, to his family. That's important to him, and so that was unfortunate. And you know, I'm disappointed for him, because Kahari's a fine young man. His dad's a fine person too.
All right, Coach.
Okay, all right. You forget your deal.
Your tip order.
Oh, no, it's up there.
Okay, all right, but you were late,
Yeah, I was late.
okay. You know what we do for playbooks if they forget and they're late?
It's all something Rhett talked about all the time.
Up, down.
So we up, down.
That's what we did.
Congratulations, Gus.
Hey, thanks, guys.
March 30th.
Have fun.
Yeah, I'll get it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
18 seconds left. PCU has the ball. Tie game. I have it on right now.
Yeah, let's not leave.
We getting players?
Oh, yeah, we're
We
getting,
got players.
Adams, Ross, Petway.
Oh, he didn't make it. Overtime.
Who's this game?
PCU Ohio State.
Yeah, Frost.
7-10.
Marcus Davis.
That's a remarkable job defending because it was basically one-on-one and the guy didn't foul and
So is that a low scoring game, I'm guessing?
what? 66 each.
You can get them done right now. If you want.
Oh wait.
Do you know what an up down is?
I've seen it on film.
Can you do it in 4.4 seconds?
They hurt like hell.
How many do they have to do? 20?
How many? 20?
I don't know how many.
Yes,
they
you
do.
have to do 20. Yes, that's the number.
Yeah,
You have to
20
do
is-
20.
Yes, about 20 times.
Volunteering.
No, I just.
Absolutely, you have to do 20.
Well, Philip, how many did you have to do that one time? Remember that a couple years ago?
Oh crap! I thought